Hey there, we're back in the garage. Took the clamps off. I cleaned it up a little bit. So the video that was posted earlier, the last you saw, I was gluing everything up for the drawer. So let's have a look at it. There we go. So there is the drawer, and since we've last seen it, we've taken all of the markings off the side, so we here get a load of. Whoop, get a load of the thing. So we got the wedge in there. So I used a different wood. That's a maple. That's going to be used throughout. Use the maple for the wedge. The half blind dovetail. The bottom here is floating. So let's see, some of the corners, which we can see through the inside, weren't as tight as I had liked, but the slips are all evenly spaced with the bottom. Everything is in. I don't have the pen out here any longer, but we've since sized everything. So now, and here, let me show you what we did on the corners. We cut the corners back. I took about a quarter of an inch off the back, because if you remember, we made the length to be the same length as here, but it's got to be, that length of the half line dovetail made it stick out a little bit. So I forgot to show you what I was looking at. So if we look at the corners, they're taken off. So that's to make it easier to slide in and out. And we still have that overhang on like a normal drawer. So let's see what we got. That slips in, fits nicely. It's goes in a little bit far on this side. So here, look on the inside. But what's going to happen is there's a stop that'll go in. If you look, the grain pattern matches really, really well, because at one time this was all one piece of wood. The gap on top is, decent. I could have probably gotten away with a little bit tighter of a tolerance, but you do need that because right now it's very dry out here. On a humid day, if that wood swells, it's not going to come undone. And the reason we put these little wings, and this is it's a small drawer, so there's not a big amount of overhang. But what happens is now I can pull the drawer. I can get all the way to the back of the drawer. So I have full access to it. And if we look in here, can we see that well? Like, you could still see some of the the drawer that's hanging out. So that way I can pull the drawer out. It's still in there, and when I'm finished, just gets closed back up. The next thing I'm going to work on is there's going to be a whole bar that comes across here that will just come over. It'll be the full length of this plus essentially the width of one of the sides, and it'll be spaced halfway through, so that way when I push this in, it will automatically stop right there at the front. And that will be made from that piece right there, among other pieces. So we'll do that. Then we'll come in here. We'll put a couple of runners right above the top of the drawer, which the bottom will sit on. So that's going to add a little bit of height to that. And there'll be a little hollow area, like just above that. That just will be unused space. But that, like I said, that's going to be what the drawer, that's what the bottom will sit on. So that way I can put stuff in there, and this top section will be a usable container, and then finally there will be a lid for the top. So next step, well, I guess the next step is for me to sharpen everything. We're going to get back into sharpening, because it's been a while. I've touched up some of the planes, but I'll go through and I'll spend the next session just sharpening everything, and then I'll make the bar for the front of the drawer. And then I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do the runners on the inside, because you're never going to see them. I don't know if I want to use the mahogany or maple that I'm using throughout. Be kind of a game time decision. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to you when we're ready to take the next step.